Welcome to the Tea Huddle with Marisa and Kelly.
Your only source for gridiron gossip. If you're interested in the NFL and what's happening on the field,
or if you're interested in the NFL and what's happening off the field,
then this is the place for you. Happy week 2, going into week 3.
Week 2 was a bloodbath.
Oh my God.
For myself,
it's like the gladiator
fantasy,
out there.
I lost all my games. For everybody on the field, dropping like flies.
A lot of upsets.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries. A lot of highlights, a lot of lowlights.
All of it. And you guys are in the right place because Kelly is going to give us the rundown of what happened on the field. Week 2 in the NFL. Kelly, what do you have for us?
To recap week 2, besides, what we just mentioned, the Ravens fell 0-2 after losing to the Raiders in Baltimore at home, which no one could have predicted.
Not me.
Not you. The refs played a role in the Chiefs' win against the Bengals. No surprise there. The refs frequently play a role in the Chiefs' win.
That's what the internet's telling me. I see a lot of AI memes of Patrick Mahomes like kissing a ref. Have you seen any of those?
Yeah. I feel like I've seen them over the years. So,
but what I deduce from that is that people think, the Chiefs have some help from the officials, and this game would support that theory.
People love to hate the best team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I remember those days being a Patriots fan. The Saints shredded the Cowboys and basically threw a parade in Dallas after the win. So happy for them.
Less happy for
Dallas, the Cowboys. Yeah. And most importantly, Kirk Cousins finally won a game in primetime against the Eagles on Monday night.
This I saw. I accidentally took a nap and slept through some of the Sunday games. So a lot of that was new information to me. Like the Cowboys Saints, I missed that entirely. But I did see Kirk Cousins win. I already forgot who they played against.
The Eagles.
Yes. What a shock.
It was a nail biter.
And it was in Philly?
Wow. So no one could have predicted any of the games this week.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what happens in week 3.
Yeah.
Because really, anyone can win. Anyone can lose. Mm-hmm. Except if you're playing for the Chiefs.
Then you'll just
you
win.
Have the refs on your side. And Lesson learned.
You have the biggest pop star in the world in the stands. You have the refs on your side. You're set up for success.
That's what they say.
We'll get into who's in the stands watching the Chiefs in a little bit because I simply cannot have an episode where I don't talk about Taylor Swift. But before we get to that, just as of Wednesday of this week, we have some breaking news. A new study was released. It was covered everywhere. It was in Forbes. It was, all across the internet. The poll is, who is the most annoying in the NFL? And this is something I can get behind. Let's break it down. These are the questions that they asked. They surveyed 3,000 football fans asking the following questions. Which NFL teams visiting fans do you find most annoying? Which behaviors do you find the most annoying while attending an NFL game? And which NFL player do you find the most annoying off the field?
Ooh. This was players answering these questions?
No, fans.
Okay. Because I think I did see players answering some of those questions.
That would, I feel like
that would be
that would be even more fun.
Yeah. Maybe next week.
Definitely. Like everyone, let's just get together and talk some shit.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into the most annoying players, who do you think won as having the most annoying visiting fans? So when this fan base comes to your town,
Eagles.
They're the most annoying. That's sort of what I would have thought too. They were second.
Bills.
Not even top 5. Number 1 most annoying visiting fans, Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, that was my third. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
Cowboys, Eagles, Raiders, Packers, and then Steelers, top 5 most annoying fan bases.
I'm so glad the Patriots didn't make that list.
Not top 5. And then what is the most annoying behavior while attending an NFL game? What do you think was the answer?
Like as a fan?
Yeah.
Too drunk?
No, that is a good one though. I feel like that would be spilling food and drinks is number 4. That sounds like a drunk thing. Over the top public displays of affection is funny. That's top 10. Number 1, obstructing your view. People came to see the action.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went to the Patriots game this past week.
Oh, so you saw probably all 10 of the most annoying things.
That's why I'm thinking back. But there's really 2 sides you can sit on. Mm-hmm. People walk up the stairs you can't see the game because they're like walking in the direction of the field,
like past your
so
view,
like down in front. Like you should wait until like a play is over before you go up.
It's like tennis.
Yeah, I mean, no one treats it like that, but it can be really annoying when people are walking by, blocking your view. I'd actually sit on the other side, and it's not a problem for me, but I can imagine that would be really annoying.
That's what 52% of the fans say. Okay, but now for what the real tea is. The most annoying players voted by NFL fans. We're going to start with number 5. This one sort of goes in line with what the most annoying fan base told us. Number 5, we have Dak Prescott as the most annoying player. I don't find him annoying at all, actually.
Is it annoying because he hasn't won a playoff game? And
is it the Cowboy players find him annoying?
No, he probably...
I mean, Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
Like, what else would make him annoying to people? He seems kind of like
that one
mellow, easygoing.
I feel like I have a lot of others in my head right now.
Who's in your head?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, he's on the list.
Tyreek Hill, maybe.
Well, and not to be a broken record, who could possibly be more annoying than Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson.
Menace to society, roaming the streets, out here to harm everybody in his path. Nope, not top 5. Patrick Mahomes, number 4. People find him annoying. I get that. His voice is annoying.
Yeah.
He's in every commercial. Like the oversaturation of the market.
The prima donna, maybe.
Yeah, everybody finds his wife annoying. No, you know what was so annoying is when he lost that game against...
Oh, yeah. He's like kind of whiny.
The Bills. And when he was good gaming with...
Yeah, the good game.
It's my favorite part of the game, when they good game at the end. With Josh Allen. And instead of being like, great win, he said, worst fucking play I ever heard. Yeah. Or worst fucking call. That was annoying. So I would agree with them there. Yeah, number 3, most annoying, Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, yeah. I think I know why he's voted most annoying. And it also, I think, is related to his whole family. I feel like when he was playing for the Rams, I want to say, his dad kept like yelling and was like all over social media about how they don't throw to him enough.
Oh, sounds like CeeDee Lamb's mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parents always getting involved. He also is like Patrick Mahomes, like very celeb. And I think probably the real football fans find that annoying, like focus to what's going on the field.
Yeah, he wears a lot of like bling bling on the field. I don't know, maybe.
I disagree. I find it annoying when football players are not involved off the field, when I don't know who they've ever dated, what they've ever gotten into, when I can't find anything about them online other than their football stats. I find that to be annoying.
Yeah, there's more to life than just football, people.
Exactly. Speaking of having a lot going on off the field, that brings us to our number 2 most annoying player, Travis Kelce. I was surprised by this one. I thought he was beloved.
I feel like it goes back to the oversaturation. Yeah. People are sick of him who are not like Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah, because let me tell you, the Taylor Swift fans don't find him annoying. They find him to be a knight in shining armor, Prince Charming, what Taylor deserves and has been waiting for her whole life. Like, the way the Swifties love Travis Kelce is unlike anything I've ever seen. Every time he like opens a car door, they're like, "Oh my God, what I would do for this man!"
He's a Prince Charming, yeah, for sure. And they are adorable together.
Yes,
but
they are.
I can see if you're like a fan, like you don't want to hear about. Obviously, so many guys complain about hearing about Taylor Swift so much, but also like all the talk about Travis being the best, tight end that they've ever seen, and he's no Gronk. From a personal level, I gotta say, he was like a lovable guy. Yeah, no. Travis can be a little like rough. I feel like if you piss him off, like
Super Bowl last year, right? Yeah. He shoved Andy Reid.
Like he's not. I think he's got some.
I forgot about the shoving.
Anger issues.
Yeah.
Gronk would never shove Belichick.
Could you imagine? Also, Gronk is so big. Like I just feel like Belichick would fly into the stands.
He's big too, though.
Yeah.
Sturdy.
Yeah. Got like a strong center of gravity.
Yeah.
All right. And then you called it our number 1 most annoying player in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers. That one, I feel like they got it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is annoying. He has not played a lot of football in the last.
He's a prima donna. I feel like he just needs everything to be centered around him.
He's skipping camp to go to darkness retreats.
He does whatever the hell he wants.
He
might as well be the coach, honestly.
Yeah.
He calls all the shots on the Jets, I think.
I think so, too. Did you see there's a new Netflix show coming out about
I
him.
did
Aaron
see an
Rodgers,
ad
like
for that.
The Enigma, I think it's called.
Some more content on air. Just what we need.
I'm 100% going to watch it. I might hate watch it, but I will be watching. And
I feel like all those players have in common is like a lot of noise off the field.
Yeah.
Except for Dak Prescott. Maybe we have to do some more digging there.
Yeah. If you guys out there know why Dak Prescott is annoying, let us know. DM us, comment on Instagram. But I'll dig around. I'll see what we can find.
It's only week 2, and this season has been riddled with injuries that have all of us sweating about our fantasy teams.
Mine is in shambles.
Yeah. However, there have been none as rattling as the concussion taken by Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Tua suffered a devastating concussion last Thursday Night Football against the Bills when he collided with Damar Hamlin.
So upsetting. I am glad we're talking about this. I have a lot to say.
I've been thinking about it ever since it happened because I'm very, very worried for him. This is Tua's 3rd diagnosed concussion in 24 months.
Tua, enough. It's time. I mean, I'm jumping ahead. Sorry. I'll wait my turn.
He also sustained a concussion in college. There have been calls for Tua to retire by media, people in the league.
My whole Twitter right after that hit was everybody like well-known people, Shannon Sharp, like people who have played football, people who love the game of football, people who played for a long time saying, absolutely not. It's time for him to go. He has 2 young kids.
2 young kids. He's young.
He's young himself. Like, what's the end goal? Like, how many more concussions would you play through at this point? And just like, is it worth it?
Yeah, it's scary. Yeah. Another person who spoke out was Antonio Pierce, the coach of the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
He said he would tell Tua to retire because it's just not worth it, which people were surprised that he said something because he's a current coach in the league. And like Mike McDaniels hasn't really said anything, which I think is fair. Like, should be focusing on Tua recovering versus trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, that's what he said. That
future.
Like we should all just be wishing him the best and like allowing him time.
Yeah, I can't even imagine like what he's going through, trying to think through his future, because this is 2023. Tua had a record year and signed a 4-year, $212 million contract extension, $160 million guaranteed.
So even if he was to walk away today, he gets $160 million.
So that's what I was curious about. Mm-hmm. That's what I looked into.
Thank you.
For everybody. Because I'm like, what is he going through? What is he trying to decide? Mm-hmm. So he has 167 guaranteed, quotation marks. 46 million of that he will receive as a bonus.
Okay.
And maybe another $1 million for his season.
Okay.
The current 2024 season.
I mean, 46 million is nothing to sneeze at.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But that leaves 125 million on the table.
Yeah, that's tough.
And apparently, if he is medically forced into retirement, then he has a right to collect that money.
Oh.
However, if he is cleared to return and doesn't, then he loses all that money.
Wow.
If he decides to retire after being medically cleared. But in some cases, which I would think the Dolphins would do for him, like the teams can negotiate a new contract that would make him whole, or maybe most of the way whole.
I would say, and maybe this is some sort of fraud, but find a doctor who is willing to say, I don't medically clear you.
I think any doctor should not medically clear him to play.
Right. Even if some would say, it's possible that you could return, like find one doctor who would say, I would not clear you to do this again after potentially 4 concussions within a year and a half.
Yeah.
2 years, whatever. I haven't done the math, but less than 2 years. Like there has to be some doctor out there who would be willing to say, I would not clear you to do that. I wonder if it's the NFL, like specifically approved doctor has to be the one to say that you're not cleared.
I still feel like any doctor would say he shouldn't be playing, but I could see I don't know. He's young. It would be so hard to just throw away football.
Right. Especially when your whole life, like all of your schooling, all of the decisions you've ever made really for yourself and your family and your future are towards football. Right. Like I'm sort of making it sound easier than it is. Just walk away. Like 46 million
it's
is
a
plenty.
Lot of 145 million too. Even with it seems like the easy answer for us is to walk away, but I could see the emotional strain that would have.
But how would it not be emotional strain to be like, oh, maybe
I would die in the next concussion.
Yeah.
Or next time I get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think one thing we can agree on is that we're all hoping that Tua makes whatever decision he thinks is right for him and his family.
Yeah. But I hope the right decision that he thinks is
and the doctor thinks is to walk away.
One thing I will say is that Mike McDaniels, is it McDaniels or McDaniel? I always, because there's I think it's Josh McDaniels. Mike McDaniel. And then there's also another one. There's something else.
Josh McDaniels.
There's the new young coach of some other team.
That's Mike McDonald, I think.
Yeah, Mike McDonald.
He beat the Patriots.
Right. So there's Josh McDaniels, Mike McDaniel, Mike McDonald, whatever. Anyway, neither here nor there. But so Mike McDaniel, when this happened and he was walking off the field with Tua, he kissed him on the head, which I thought was so sweet. And like, so much of football is toxic masculinity and suppressing your emotion through anger. And that leads to all of these like violent off the field outbursts. But I just thought that was such a nice sort of modern display of
it was sweet. I mean, I think maybe he should have stayed away from his head at that point.
You make an excellent point. But it
was a sweet moment.
Yeah, I thought that was.
I'm sure he was gentle.
That's funny. Yeah, maybe like on the hand.
On the hand, yeah. And then I guess some more like better news about this is after the game on Thursday, Bills fans raised $18,000 to Tua's charity in 24 hours.
Because it was a Bills player. Or they were playing against the Bills when the collision happened. I love that. It's very supportive. It's like we are all in the NFL community.
Yeah.
We're not Bills versus
they're rivals
Dolphins right now. Oh, are they?
They're in the same division.
I'll get there one day knowing the divisions.
But yeah, Bills fans, I guess are known for being really good at raising money and being generous
and jumping through tables.
Yeah, on the side, they can do it all.
They're so well rounded.
Yeah, when they're angry, they just donate money sometimes.
That's like a great way to be.
Tyler Bass, their kicker missed a field goal. They raised like $200,000 for his charity. For cats or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I remember that because they felt bad for him.
Yeah. Or they're like just annoyed at him. I don't know.
It's for a good cause. We'll take it.
Yeah, keep sending your money.
Yeah.
So next week, the starting quarterback for the Dolphins is Skylar Thompson, who was drafted by the Dolphins in 2022. He was drafted in the 7th round, so no comparison to Tua.
Yeah.
We will see how he plays, but in the meantime, there's been a lot of rumors swirling around who is going to step in and take Tua's place, which veteran is available.
I love rumors.
My favorite is Colin Kaepernick because people just love to throw his name into the mix whenever.
And like, bring it.
Just do it.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's do it.
Let's see.
Yeah. There's been so much talk over years. I think we should see what he's got.
I couldn't agree more. One of the rumors that I thought was interesting because it was responded to by a current player, former Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton. Rumors had it that he was spotted at a Dolphins practice earlier this week.
Did see that.
Did you see what Tyreek Hill said?
Yeah. Are they like starting to beef or something?
I think so. So on Wednesday, Tyreek Hill quote tweeted something from an NFL rumor account that Cam Newton was spotted at a Miami practice. Tyreek said, "This team already has too many kids," which Tyreek, all anyone talks about is how many kids you have. So like interesting comment.
Maybe he wants to be like the player with the most kids on the team and he's threatened by.
Does Cam Newton have a lot of kids? Hold on, let me see.
He does. All with one woman and then
6 biological children and 2 stepchildren.
Yes.
He has 4 kids with model Kia Practor.
That's what it is.
And then
he had a kid with like a stripper or something that there was.
Oh yeah, that rings a bell.
And then I don't know who the other Oh yeah, he adopted one of her.
Yes, who he raised as his own. But then now he had his 8th child this year. I guess that's counting the 2 stepchildren that he considers his own with his girlfriend.
Okay, so
who's not a stripper, but Oh, I get it. So I thought at first he was calling Cam Newton a kid, but he instead is poking fun at the fact that both he and Cam Newton have a whole bunch
They
of
have too many
kids.
kids in the stands.
I get
That's
it.
what I'm thinking.
That's kind of funny.
But Cam Newton also called out Tyreek last week, or like right after Tyreek got detained, saying that he didn't handle the situation. So it's interesting. They're really going back and forth. It'd be fun to see if they play on the same team.
I would love that. I vote first for Kaepernick, second for Cam Newton, or both. Bring them both.
Some other names that are being thrown around: Tom Brady, which let the man rest.
Yeah,
he just started his new job. Like, he's trying to move on. Let him move on.
And like, if we entice him, he'll do it.
Yeah,
and
he
just,
might
like,
do it.
Enough already.
He lives down there.
That's true. His kids are enrolled in school in like a Miami school district.
And they're a good team. You know, he could win. He could win a Super Bowl with them.
He's won enough Super Bowls. He's not on my list of people I want to play in Miami.
Tannehill is another player they've been throwing around who used to play for the Dolphins.
Oh, did he? Because he was a Titan for a long time, right?
He was a Titan. I think he was on the Dolphins before he got benched.
The only thing that comes into my mind anytime Tannehill is mentioned is the story that his wife accidentally left an automatic weapon in a rental car and then returned it. And the rental car people didn't find it either. It wasn't until the next car renters looked in their trunk and found an AR-15 in the back of the car. And she was like, oops, I forgot it. So anytime anyone mentions Tannehill, I just think that she accidentally left a rifle in a rental car and returned it.
Check your trunks, people.
Yep. And then Bryce Young, people are talking about. People are saying maybe it's not his fault that the Panthers are so bad. Maybe it's the Panthers' fault.
Yeah, Bryce Young we're going to talk to more in our segment today.
Mm-hmm. We'll get into that. Little teaser. But yeah, I feel like can't wait to see what happens with Tua and can't wait to see what happens with his backup, whoever that may be.
Good luck. Good luck to all of you.
Yeah. Our next story is about a quarterback who will not be playing for Miami this season. We've talked about him a little bit already. 3-time Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes celebrated his 29th birthday this week with a party thrown by his wife, Brittany Mahomes, attended by some of his teammates, famous girlfriends. Now's the time when I finally get to talk about Taylor Swift.
We always have to have a few minutes each episode.
Yeah, it's a box. We have to check. Just otherwise, I won't be able to sleep at night. Sunday after the Chiefs beat the Bengals, Brittany Mahomes threw a big birthday bash for her husband, Patrick.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Mecole Hardman, who we love because his fiance, Chariah Gordon, every time Taylor comes to a game, Chariah is taking pics, posing pics. She posted a picture with Taylor in the Kelsey suite at Sunday's game. And because of this picture, we know that in the suite, there is a framed Eras Tour poster in the Kelsey suite.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's from when she performed at Arrowhead.
But they just moved it into, into that suite now.
But I love that. Taylor came to the game with her mom, her brother, some of the Haim girls, the girls from the band.
I think she loves the Haim girls. Yeah.
They
family affair.
It was a family affair. Oh, there's a video of Taylor's mom and Travis's mom hugging.
Oh. The in-laws are getting
along. They're going to get married. Anyway, back to the birthday party. Jackson Mahomes was there as well. If he was a player, he would be voted number 1 most annoying, but he's just number 1 most annoying sibling. And then speaking of most annoying, our number 2 most annoying player, Travis Kelce, obviously there at his best buddy's birthday party. He reportedly got Patrick as a birthday gift a Louis Vuitton golf bag that costs between $20,000 and $30,000.
Damn.
This man loves an expensive gift.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
It is so
for your friend. Yeah. Save it for your wife.
And for your friend's 29th birthday. This is not 30.
What's 30 going to be?
There was like big balloon displays and big decorations. And 29. It's like have a cake, have some friends over.
Yeah.
You got to save up for 30.
Yeah, there's more to look forward to. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the last year of your 20s.
Yeah. What is Travis going to get Patrick next year? He's just like
a Range Rover.
Setting a pace he can't possibly keep.
Yeah.
Just kidding. He can keep it. He's in every commercial that's on television. His podcast has
making lots of money.
Yeah. But party looked cute. glad Taylor was there. Speaking of cute, she looked so cute at the game. Oversized Chiefs t-shirt as like a dress, cute little bow in her hair. I like her Sunday fits.
Yeah, I feel like it was very different from last week where she was like
vixen.
Yeah, coming out strong.
Yeah,
I mean, she still looked great.
But she's like
different vibe
and cute.
Yeah.
What is she gonna do next week?
I know.
We have 4 more weeks until the Eras Tour is back, so I hope that means 4 more looks. At least 3. Probably the 4th one. Maybe she has to start rehearsing. All right, I got it out of my system. I feel like that's enough Taylor for the day. What do you have next for us?
Okay, people, we have a brand new segment for you today called How Embarrassing.
How embarrassing. Oops.
Oh. That is embarrassing. That was our first time hearing that.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I thought it was going one way and then it went a different way. Unexpected. Jingle aside, I'm excited for this one. We've got a lot to say. This was an embarrassing week.
This was an embarrassing week, and we have a long list here, and I think we could have added even more people, but
okay, so we're gonna alternate back and forth embarrassing events from this week on and off the field. The first one I'm really excited to talk about because I watched this video no less than 45 times. The Packers center, Josh Myers, puked into his helmet onto the football right before the snap in the Packers game against, who were they? The Colts, I think.
Against the Colts. He puked on the ball.
He puked on the ball. He hiked it. He hiked it to the quarterback, who's now holding a vomity football. The video is so good. If you haven't seen it, just search on Twitter Packers vomit, and like, there it is.
Could you imagine being Malik Willis and like getting this vomited football? Like
why'd you hand me this? Then the best part of all of it is after the game, the head coach is giving his like post-game conference and said that he asked Willis, the quarterback, why he didn't throw on the 3rd down. And he said, because the ball was covered in vomit, because Myers had just puked on it. And the coach said, oh, that's the first time I've ever heard that one. And the video, he just like, it's like, okay, everybody, hike, puke, hike. And then he throws in the ball.
And then he runs with it. But you would think he would like want to throw it as soon as he could, just to like get it out of his possession.
Exactly.
I don't want to hold on to that.
And then, but like, is vomit like flying through the air?
Oh, gross. That's not his problem.
It wasn't a lot of vomit.
It looked like a lot.
Oh, did it?
I don't know. It looked liquidy.
It was, yeah. I think he said it was so hot and he just like drank so much water and
hydrated boy.
And that it made him puke. I've never puked from drinking too much water.
No,
too much
not yet.
Other stuff. But
I saw in his press conference too, the ref was like, do you want me to tell you next time that someone pukes on the ball? And he was like, yeah, I would like to know that. Especially during a 3rd down play. It's pretty important.
I hope there's not a next time that somebody pukes on the ball. I thought that was hilarious and embarrassing.
Very embarrassing. Another embarrassing moment for a quarterback was Will Levis. He is the quarterback for the Titans, and he got called out by head coach Brian Callahan when he fumbled the ball in the Jets' end zone. And you could see the head coach just on the sidelines yelling, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, explicitly.
The lips were clear
you know
to
what
read.
He was saying. He even admitted that, like, what you saw is what I said. I think I was pretty clear. Wow. And yeah, embarrassing being called out by your coach
in front of everyone, and then not having him deny it, being like, yeah, that is exactly what happened.
That's what I said. And then he went on in like the post-game interview being like, yeah, Will Levis is a grown man. He knows better.
Oh.
Like, no, really putting him in his place.
Yeah, yikes. Making it even more embarrassing, his ex-girlfriend seems to have responded. So his ex-girlfriend, Gia Duddy, we've talked about her before because she's beautiful. And when he got drafted, there was like a lot of talk about her online, like who's that beautiful girl? And then maybe she left him for Morgan Wallen. Although this newest TikTok would indicate otherwise, because just a day after his fumble and then subsequent call out, she posted a TikTok with the words over it saying, no revenge, because if I believe in anything, it's karma. I feel like alluding to the fact that him fumbling and being called out and being embarrassed. Karma. Caption to that video was, let the universe take care of it. So
rough day for Will Levis.
Yeah.
Rough weekend.
Hope his girlfriend, former star of The Bachelor, Victoria Fuller, was there to comfort him during his embarrassing weekend.
Yeah, I've actually never seen a coach call out a quarterback that badly. Usually they're like, it's on all of us. He was like, no, he's a fucking grown man. And sorry, Will, you got to learn from that.
You're going to learn today. Amazing. Okay, I thought maybe the puke story was my favorite, but now I've changed my mind. I think this embarrassing story from the week is my favorite. Shannon Sharp, the NFL Hall of Famer, talk show host, personality, last week went live on Instagram while having sex.
Can't be doing that.
Yeah, yikes. It was a 1.5 minute long video out to his 3.2 million followers. At one point, 6,000 people were logged on, more people by the second. Finally, someone from his team intervened and went off of live. The thing that's the most embarrassing was that later that day, he posted on his story, beware, my Instagram was hacked this morning. My team and I are working vigorously to figure this out. Somebody hacked you and then put the phone next to you while you were having sex. So there's some dialogue during the encounter. We now know that the woman you hear in the video was named Michelle because he references her. It's so his voice. It's just like
poor Michelle. It's embarrassing for her too.
Embarrassing for Shannon Sharp. Embarrassing for Michelle. Embarrassing that he thinks that we believe that he got hacked. But then the next day after that, on his show, he came clean. He said, obviously, I am embarrassed. He named our segment for us. Someone that is extremely, extremely private, and to have one of your most intimate details, the audio heard for the entire world to hear, I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons.
Yeah, you should be.
But then seemed like maybe he wasn't embarrassed anymore because Monday of this week, he was selling merch on his website.
Oh my God.
A shirt that said, that's my Michelle.
No.
A shirt that said, Nightcap Film Department.
Stop it.
But later that day, they were removed from the site. And now you can't find them. He even has on his site like an archived merch area, and none of them are there.
At least he has a team that's like trying to clean him up a little bit.
I wonder if it was people from his team got ahead of themselves and were like, we could make money off this. Let's launch it. And then either he or somebody else from the team was like, it's a bad look. Take it down.
I don't think he would.
you think he was into it?
Money-making opportunity.
Yeah. So he said it. He was embarrassed. The merch told a different story. I believe Michelle was probably... Oh, and then...
I'm sure Michelle is still embarrassed.
People went on his Instagram, see who he follows, see who's named Michelle. Now we all know who Michelle is.
Poor girl.
But then he also said, like, I'm a single grown man. He wasn't cheating on anybody. He wasn't...
Yeah, but we don't want to see that.
Well, we didn't see it. We heard it.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, and it is...
Be careful with your
explicit.
Phones.
I know. He said, I've never gone live before. I threw my phone in the moment and
some bad luck.
But there's just like so many buttons you have to push. You have to open Instagram. You have to press go live. Like I've never gone live, but I'm pretty sure it's like, are you sure? And
it's all a little fishy to me.
Yeah.
The t-shirt's ready to go.
Yeah. So either he's embarrassed or he's not. It's hard to know.
I'm sure he's not. I'm sure Michelle is.
Yeah. I'm going to go on a tangent for a second because Shannon Sharp was in the news for another interesting reason this week. So Monday, a judge threw out another NFL Hall of Famers lawsuit against Shannon Sharp. A little backstory here. Brett Favre, legendary quarterback of the Packers, right?
Yes. Legendary.
I Googled him. I read his Wikipedia. So in 2020, there was a whole statewide scandal in Mississippi alleging that the state's Department of Human Services misspent $94 million that was meant for in-need residents. Included in that $94 million was $1.1 million that was paid to Brett Favre for speaking engagements, except the problem is those speaking engagements never happened. He did not do those speeches that he was paid $1.1 million for. Here's the kicker. The $1.1 million was spent not on people in need, which is what this money was meant to be for. Instead, it was used to pay for a new volleyball facility at University of Southern Mississippi, where he went and where his daughter coincidentally, where Brett Favre went, and where his daughter plays volleyball currently. And it was used to buy a new volleyball facility.
Interesting.
Instead of like food stamps or shelters or any type of service that can help Mississippi's people in need.
Wow. That is crazy.
Crazy. So
Brett Favre, what are you doing?
You're out here making bad choices. There were even texts that came out where he texted somebody that said, if you were to pay me, is there any way the media could find out where it came from and how much?
Wow.
So
he's guilty.
He was not charged with a crime. He was ordered to pay back the funds, including interest. I think he's paid back the funds, but not yet the interest. But I can't really figure out why he wasn't charged with a crime. Seems pretty criminal to me. Anyway, back to Shannon Sharpe.
How are these related?
So in 2023, Favre filed defamation lawsuits on a number of talk show hosts, including Pat McAfee, another former football player,
for speaking about this.
For speaking about this, yes. Shannon Sharpe said he was a thief, stealing money from people who really need it.
Are we going to get in trouble?
I was just going to say, I don't want to get sued, so I'm not going to say that he's a thief from stealing from people who really need it, but I'm going to think it. So a judge dismissed the case. They said that Sharpe's comments were constitutionally protected opinions based on publicly known facts. Basically saying, you are a thief who stole from people in need.
It's just giving an opinion on, publicly known facts, which is what we're doing.
Right. Allegedly. Alleged facts. I feel like I'm not a lawyer, but I think if you just say allegedly, that's like a clause for whatever you say.
Allegations of.
Mm-hmm. So then when that suit was dismissed, Brett Favre appealed that suit. He really is trying to sue Shannon Sharpe for defamation. And then on Monday, the appeals court threw that lawsuit out. Said no. So maybe that's embarrassing for Brett Favre for being a unethical criminal who can't get a lawsuit across the line. Allegedly. Allegedly. So that's not part of our segment, but also it is because it's embarrassing to be a terrible person.
It's embarrassing to be defamed in the news.
Yep.
For doing something bad, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Stealing money, allegedly.
How embarrassing.
Back to some more current football. From this past weekend. I got to throw one out here to Saquon Barkley having an embarrassing game on Monday. He had all these Giants fans smiling, I'm sure, from afar because they've seen it many times when Saquon played for the Giants. But during crunch time in the last quarter, Saquon dropped a pass, a very easy pass that he should have had, which led to the Eagles kicking a field goal and giving Kirk Cousins and the Falcons plenty of time to win the game.
Which they did. How embarrassing.
Saquon's definitely embarrassed. I could tell by his post-game interview.
You could see it in his eyes.
I got to call him out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Embarrassing.
Yep. This one I love because it's so embarrassing. So Caleb Williams, we talked a lot about him in our draft episodes. He was the number 1 draft pick overall. So much talk about him, so much hype. The whole preseason Hard Knocks with the Bears were like, they're going to be such a great team.
A lot of hype.
So apparently after the draft, before the season started, Caleb texted the rookie punter, Tory Taylor, who I think I just said he was Australian, but if I didn't, he's Australian, which is so fun. Saying, you're not going to be punting too much here, which is so cocky. And then how embarrassing.
A rookie coming from college. Like,
right.
Slow down.
And then how embarrassing. Since then, the Bears in the first 2 weeks have punted 55% of their possessions, second most in the entire league.
Oof.
More punting yards than the entire offense has.
No. Caleb,
How
You
embarrassing.
jinxed yourself.
You got a lot of talk and not a lot of action, Caleb.
I did see, maybe this is also embarrassing for Caleb, but CJ Stroud after the game went up to him and was trying to give like some friendly advice and like, keep your head up, you got this.
Yeah.
And Caleb, I just did not want to hear it. Like, you're no better than me. Like, he was just like, yeah, thanks. And I was like,
Maybe
hey,
a little humility.
CJ's crushing it.
Yes. How
I mean, maybe it's embarrassing because he's only a few years older
Right.
talking to him. But
And like he thought he was going to come in and be the best rookie this town has ever seen.
it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
I'm going to continue the rookie quarterback conversation. Bryce Young, he is officially benched on the Panthers after
Two games in. Embarrassing.
Yeah, he's officially been benched for Andy Dalton, the backup quarterback. That makes Bryce the first number 1 pick to be benched for a non-injury reason.
Wow.
So that's pretty embarrassing.
I would say.
Just to have that floating around. He has not had a single touchdown this season. I mean, there's been 2 games, but still no touchdown and 3 interceptions. So also embarrassing. I don't know if it's all embarrassing for Bryce or for the Panthers as a whole because where are you, offensive line?
Yeah. I wonder, is it Bryce being bad or is it the team being bad? Like, does he have no one to throw to? Is no one paying attention?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of all of that. But yeah, it seems like there's really no offensive line. He's got no time to throw the ball. And I think this is honestly a much bigger conversation around these rookie quarterbacks being thrown into the league in starting positions when you think they're ready. They played 4 years, maybe a few years of college, but it's a completely different game, like different rules.
And you have, instead of like other people your age, you have like
these
30-year-old
guys.
enormous men running at you. Like,
Yeah.
things are different. Just ask Caleb.
Yeah, exactly. It's a transition. I think it says a lot about the Panthers as a team because 2 of their previous quarterbacks, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, who have all had little stints on the Panthers, are now crushing it on their respective teams. Sam Darnold is 2-0 on the Vikings currently.
Unexpected.
Baker Mayfield's 2-0 on the Bucks. So I think it just takes some time to really figure it out and make sure you're like have a good team surrounding you. You're confident. Like all the greatest quarterbacks have had someone to learn from. Tom Brady learned from Drew Bledsoe. Aaron Rodgers learned from Brett Favre.
I hope he didn't learn about ethics.
Hopefully he didn't learn that. Drew Brees learned from Doug Flutie. You know, it's good to like take some notes.
I've literally never heard the name Doug Flutie in my entire life. Is he famous?
Yeah. He's one of the best.
Oh.
From way like before the Drew Brees time.
I'll Google him. I know Drew Brees. He was Ellen DeGeneres' favorite. She had like a Drew Brees seat in the audience of her show because she's from New Orleans.
Okay.
And he's in Hall's commercials.
Know Doug Flutie too.
Anyway, but whatever the reason that the Panthers are failing and Bryce Young is being benched, you know, whatever they may be, at the end of the day,
embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings us to our final goss.
Final goss.
What do you have for us, Marissa?
I'm excited about the final goss this week because it has everything we like. Rumors, dating, scandal.
I'm excited to hear.
Today's final goss is about a former wag who may be a wag once again. So Tiana Robillard is a TikToker who got a lot of attention last year because she was dating and then engaged to Bengals player Cody Ford.
Okay.
Nobody knows who Cody Ford is other than the fact that
he was engaged
to this TikToker, Tiana. They were cute together. Sort of their whole shtick is that he seemed annoyed by her.
That's not a good shtick with your fiance.
Then it came out in June that he had cheated on her and she left him in the dust. They broke up. She went on a little bit of a media tour following their split. She did a bunch of podcasts. First one was Alex Earl's podcast, another wag, girlfriend of Dolphins Braxton Berrios.
Spill the tea somewhere.
So she goes and she does this interview and Cody Ford live streams on Twitch him watching the interview, reacting to it in real time, which is so embarrassing and like just weirdo behavior.
Yeah.
And she said like maybe he was doing it so he could like address the statements I was making, like it didn't happen that way or whatever, but it did. He admitted he cheated on her while he was in Ohio for training camp, and she was like planning their wedding in Texas.
So he just like admitted to it on Twitch?
Yes. He's like, yeah, I made mistakes. I'm sorry I ruined her life. She clapped back and said, you didn't ruin my life. You ruined your own life.
Good for her.
Yeah. And since then, she's everywhere online, gaining a ton of followers and maybe gaining a new man. She was spotted this week and this weekend with Vikings linebacker Ivan Pace Jr. I had no idea I've never heard that name. He was signed as an undrafted free agent to the Vikings in 2023. Other than that, I have literally nothing to say about him. He has like 15 posts on Instagram. I don't know if he's ever dated anybody known, but they seem like they're becoming quite the fast couple. She was decked out in full Vikings gear on the sidelines at their game last Sunday against the 49ers. She was hanging with all the wags, including JJ McCarthy's fiance.
Oh, so she's in the scene now.
In the scene, his fiance Katja Kerpoas posted on her Instagram story that they were getting coffee together. She was seen rutting up and hugging Ivan before the game. And then she posted on Instagram a picture of her in her Vikings outfit. The caption is "Fresh photos with the bomb lighting," which is a lyric from the Lizzo song "Truth Hurts." The next line in that right after that is "New man on the Minnesota Vikings."
Well, so there we go.
There we go. It's sort of
I'd call that an announcement.
Not so subtly implied. They look cute together. I hope he does not propose to her and then immediately cheat on her as well.
Yeah, happy for her for moving on.
I do think perhaps maybe finding somebody in a different sport or a different occupation entirely maybe would be, if the only thing you're really known for is being in a relationship with a football player, to like go right into a relationship with another football player.
She's got a type.
She's got a type. Ivan's way cuter than Cody Ford. Cody Ford sucks.
Yeah. I'm happy that she's moving on.
Yeah.
And hey, the Vikings are doing well.
Yeah, she picked herself a good team. Yeah. Better than the Bengals.
Yeah. So we'll see, but
yeah, so we'll keep you posted. Maybe they'll make, this was like a soft launch. I think a hard launch is incoming.
It's coming to your Instagram soon.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it for this episode of the Tea Huddle.
Be sure to come back next week for the latest on all the rumors, lawsuits, embarrassing moments. There were so many this week. I hope there are that many every week.
The juice, the sweat, the tea.
Also, big shout out to Andrew Freeborn for our jingles this season. He's really been out doing it himself. Yeah, that's one of our favorite parts.
Please find us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Reach out.
Yeah, chat with us.
Slide
in the DMs.
Send us some goss.
Definitely. All those places on the internet, and we'll see you back here wherever you get your podcasts next week and every week after that.
But until then, stay juicy.